Hello everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Primetime Newscast on EQUINOXE Television, live from our headquarters in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. Campaigns ahead of the October 7, 2018 presidential election in the Republic of Cameroon gain steam as candidates crisscross the country, wooing voters to cast their votes for them, promising them change and other things that they will put in place as soon as they are elected president of the Republic. And the Meme 1A section president of the CPDM political party tells the president of the Republic that the launching of his campaign in the southwest region is a joke, but that he should come down to the southwest and solve the Anglophone crisis that has continued deepening for more than 2 years today. Prophet Franklin Ndifon of the Cameroon National Citizens Movement political party, who is one of the candidates of the October 7, 2018 presidential election in Cameroon, pulled a huge crowd at the Stade Sikam in Douala Monday to launch his campaign in the city, and he brought hundreds of persons together who came listening to his political program, his vision for Cameroon.
The campaign caravan of Prophet Franklin Ndifon of the Cameroon National Citizen Movement took off from the Kingship International Ministry in Bonaberi of the Douala for municipality. Trailed by dozens of motorbike riders, supporters and sympathizers, the self-declared God-ordained candidate of Cameroon passed through curious onlookers at Rond-Point, Feu Rouge, École Publique before arriving Stade Sikam in the Douala 5 subdivision, where hundreds had mobilized since the early hours of the day. A good number of his followers are Christians and members of the Kingship International Ministries Church. They say that they have the conviction that Prophet Franklin Ndifon, whom they have refused to call a politician, would lead Cameroon out of the current social, economic and political crisis.
He said God calls you, or God has spoken to you, not because of the leader in my church. I'm supporting him because I have the conviction that he can lead the country. What makes me a better leader from Cameroon? As he himself announced, he's been sent by the Almighty. He never came up by himself. And I believe that he has been leading people, he has been delivering people, he has been telling people the truth, he has been doing so many things to people. I believe that he can still do it in the country.
A political observer present at Stade Sikam questioned what will become of the prophet's credibility if he fails to win the race to A2D.
I'm concerned with this transformation into politics as a prophet, as a man of God. Up to now, I cannot understand how a prophet is leaving the ministerial arena or his ministerial call to venture into politics.
Like bad governance, corruption, tribalism and unemployment. He said that God gave him the capacity to rule Cameroon with love for one another. Prophet Franklin Ndifon is due to continue his campaign rally in Kribi, South region of Cameroon.
Il ne faut pas me confondre avec les politiciens parce qu'il y a la différence.
Prophet Franklin Ndifon of the Cameroon National Citizens Movement political party speaking there, and Serge Espoir Matomba of the Peuple Uni pour la Rénovation Plus political party was in Mitoku and Dikinimik in the central region of the country. Today he went explaining his projects and of course his vision for the country to supporters, sympathizers of the Pious political party as well as Cameroonians in general, urging them to vote for him come 7th of October 2018. In the southwest region of the country, militants of the ruling Cameroon People's Democratic Movement, CPDM political party, say they are aware of the situation on the ground and the plans of pro-independence fighters to ensure that election does not take place in the southwest region, but they have vowed to do everything possible to ensure that the voting effectively takes place in that part of the country, despite the crisis. They were speaking during the launching of the campaign of the CPDM political party in the regional capital, Boya. Derijato Asmo.
The Cameroon People Democratic Movement, CPDM Southwest, revealed the campaign strategy of the pro-independence fighters to stop election in the region.
The secessionist fighters have planned to scare everybody to stay home, leave our region, storm the polling offices, and ambush the campaign agents and others interested in participating in this election in the southwest region.
And now that the battle lines seem drawn, CPDM Southwest revealed its own campaign strategy for the election to hold. Special squad will be trained for special election operations.
Element number 6 of our campaign strategy, the putting in place of special squads of young men and women around polling stations in safe zones to carry out special operations such as, and I will not name all, special operations such as, in other words, we have to introduce in our creativity the idea and the concept of special operations. But for the purposes of tact and intelligence, I will not list all what I mean by special operations. I mean, just give you a
Secret, sacred and mystical powers will also be employed as factors of production from the campaigns up to the polling stations.
While we do not organize and manage elections, we have to see into it that we use our sacred, secret, and mystical powers to make sure that the localization of polling stations is in safe zones.
The Cameroon former Prime Minister Mr. Peter Mafane Musonge, head of the Southwest CPDM campaign team, gave reasons why candidate Paul Biya is a wonderful leader and should be re-elected.
Not every Tom, Dick and Harry has the ability to become president. In the present game, our candidate is the right man for the job. He has been tried and tested. He is the game changer. He is a Cristiano Ronaldo.
Following, though ready to brave the odds for the CPDM, Mr. Tabot Lawson, CPDM section president for Meme 1A, called on his candidate, President Paul Biya, to visit the region and calm down tension.
C'est mieux que le président lance un appel. Il vient à Boya ou à Bamenda, et n'importe qui qu'il a choisi, pour dire quelque chose, au moins pour les lecteurs.
As this CPDM comrade now drives out of the campaign ground in security-tight convoy, it is no secret that their mission in the region starts now, and on the field they should not expect to see many people, for they had long gone because of the tension, the killings, the destruction and the arrest brought by the unsolved crisis, the Anglophone crisis.
Some civil society organizations wishing to observe the October 7, 2018 presidential election have expressed disturbing
plans to accredit less than half the number of observers who applied. Among the Venices, they have information that the Ministry of Territorial Administration intends to reduce their number of observers from 600 to 44. A disturbing information which has not left other non-governmental organizations like Women's International League for Peace and Freedom in Cameroon indifferent. The Secretary General of this civil society organization, Wokam Nathalie, says she is bothered that the 161 election observation accreditations they applied for will be reduced. The civil society qualified this move of the government as bad faith, exposing problems and irregularities, providing an accurate measure of the quality of the election. Section 296 of Cameroon's Electoral Code gives authority to MINAT to accredit national observers on its appreciation and international observers upon consultation with the Ministry of External Relations. The final list of accredited election observers is expected latest the end of this month.
While campaigns for the October 7, 2018 presidential elections are ongoing across the country, Talbot Lawson, who is the president of the Meme 1A section, president of the CPDM in the southwest region of the country, has urged the president of the republic to go down to the Anglophone parts of the country and address the crisis as soon as possible. Take a listen to him. He spoke to Derek Jato.
First, I'd like to answer the questions as they are directed. The first thing is that when you are launching a campaign, you launch a campaign in a public venue. What is the essence of a campaign? What are you launching? You are trying to do the things that your opponents. We have 9 other candidates. We are 9 in the race. We should do something that our opponents should see us showcasing our strength. This is what we did not do. We are launching a campaign in a room, in a small hall. And in a small, no matter what, the people were thousands of in their numbers, but we were supposed to launch a campaign in a public place despite the insecurity. And even though we have insecurity, we were supposed to have launched our campaign in a full public gathering to submerge the arguments.
And women are now determined more than ever before to be front runners in political issues in the Republic of Cameroon in the future, and it is the purpose of a training workshop that took place here in the economic camp Douala. And the women will also serve as scrutinizers or scrutineers in the upcoming presidential election, as Manjikan Gabriel reports.
Even without the name of a lady on the list of October 7 presidential elections in Cameroon, the women will want their voices to be heard at the election, as they have decided to be observers at the different polling stations as the one to accompany the scrutiny and ensure that the elections go on in a transparent manner. It is the reason for a one-day gathering, as this participant explains.
For the women to know their role and the importance they play as far as elections are concerned in Cameroon. If this workshop is participating in elections, not like this one where we have no woman who is even opting to be a president of this country. If we want to change this country, we should also change the mentality of relegating women to the background. So this workshop is as important as, very, very important in the life of the woman, so as to put the women in their right position, in their right taking places. Education for a woman is very important.
The one-day training workshop is expected to encourage ladies go into politics and be part of future elections. But they call for more of such training.
We expect that after this, we should have a follow-up workshop that will enable the women go far. You don't teach only for 1 week, 1 day, 2 days. We expect follow-up and evaluation. We shall give you the results. God be our helper.
It will, however, be noted that without the active participation of women and integration of their ideas at all levels of decision-taking, the objective of equality, development, and peace cannot be attained.
In sports, the government of the Republic of Cameroon is stepping up efforts to ensure that infrastructures that will welcome encounters, players, team officials, fans, and of course the public and even tourists during the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations are ready as the time boils down to the continental competition. Today, the Minister of Sport and Physical Education, Pierre Ismail Bidunkwat, was at the Japuma 50,000 capacity stadium construction site to ensure that the construction works are unfolding at a considerable pace in view of respecting deadlines and, of course, ensuring that the stadium is ready to welcome encounters, supporters and players and even team officials, and as well as tourists during the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations. Now, for greater details, here's an extract of Tomazo. He is the chief of the construction project at the Japuma 50,000 capacity stadium construction site here in Douala. Take a listen.
At the present moment, currently, we are about 70% of progress of works of the stadium of the two training fields. That means that only 30% remaining. About the most important things we can say that, first of all, the steel structure of the roof, which is the most critical part, is more than 50%. It will be completed by the end of October. And all the concrete part of the stadium have been already completed, as well as all the training fields, the grass and the tribunes. So what remains are only finishing works, membrane, the membrane of the roof, the membrane of outside, and the tiling and usual finishing works inside. So we have time to. Let's say that the most important part of the stadium will be completed by the end of December. I mean, even the playground inside the stadium, and all the other part, which means the external part, will be completed for about 1 month later.
And now we wrap up the first segment of this newscast with an advertorial from one of the leading higher institutions of learning in the Republic of Cameroon and even on the African continent, the University Institute of the Gulf of Guinea. These students have come from different parts of Cameroon to converge on the University Institute of the Gulf of Guinea in Douala in view of achieving their academic dreams. They are receiving information from experts that will help them make the right choices and take the right steps as they move up the academic ladder. The University Institute of the Gulf of Guinea, a leading higher institution of learning, is offering them free guidance counseling services.
The orientation session started just as soon as we finished with the last academic year. You know, this is the school that is leading others. So generally, when we finish with the session, we put in place mechanism to welcome students from all over the world. We welcome students from other African countries, as well as the students that we have here in Cameroon, in other regions, to give them information on the different fields that are available in the school and the different choices that they can make.
I just had the GCA level. I want some information about the school, the specialty, each department school year. I choose IUG because I heard many things about the school, that the scholarship, many things, many opportunities to me.
The institution, located in Pekawit in the Douala 5 subdivision, brings together 3 professional schools on 3 campuses where hundreds of Cameroonians and citizens from other African countries are trained in several specialties.
They told me that ACHU is composed of 3 campuses. Campus A, which is ESG, Campus B, ISTA, Campus C, ISA. Now, ESG is Advanced School of Management. ISTA is for technical students and ISA is for medical students.
All the 3 campuses are well equipped with up-to-date amenities, a well-structured amphitheater with the capacity to receive 700 students, comfortable classrooms, modern laboratories, and a well-furnished library. The University Institute of the Gulf of Guinea has also established a health center to take care of health challenges of students, lecturers, administrative officials of the school, and even the public. The institution is equally endowed with adequate sports and leisure facilities.
At EEG, we train leaders since 1993.
That's it for the first part of this newscast. Coming up next, Talking Point. Thanks for joining us in Talking Point. We are receiving a legal mind and a fervent and frontline militant of the ruling Cameroon People's Democratic Movement, CPDM political party, Barrister Julius. ACHU, you're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Babila. Good evening.
Thanks, you're welcome. Now, how have the campaigns been unfolding this far as the CPDM is concerned?
You know, the first point is that we've been carrying a lot of door-to-door campaigns. And you know, as our party is a well-structured party, our various organs, which have been appointed or organized before 2 weeks back, are on the field, trying to make sure that our role is felt on the population, trying to show that the impact of our candidate is felt, to show that to be felt on the population, in order to make sure that, I'm sorry to say, I'm hurrying because of the time constraints. But that notwithstanding, we are so structured that it says that we have a national structure that comes down to the regions, and from the regions to the various divisions, and from the divisions to the communal level. You know, there are persons who have been mandated to carry out certain issues, to talk about certain issues of the party. Like I myself, I've just been authorized to come and say some good words about our candidate in English. That's why I'm here today.
Now, we have been seeing the other candidates on the field, except Damun Damjoye, that we have not yet seen on the field up to now. But the President of the Republic, his militants have not seen him. Cameroonians have not heard him speak a word since the campaign started.
Our main force is the experience. Our main power is the experience of our candidate, our champion. It is not making too much noise that makes a candidate worthy of being voted into power. It is the way you organize yourself, the way you portray your project, your society, the contract you want to sign with the population, and the way you carry out your campaign strategy. We have a strategy that has worked for years today, which is having the right people to do the right thing at the right time. And secondly, we'll do those, for proximity reasons, we'll do door-to-door campaigns, and we'll make sure that every Cameroonian is sensitized as to what our champion represents. Because you should understand, this election is about the champion of each political party or political leaning.
Yes, in the northwest and southwest regions of the country, we know that, as you indicated earlier, there will be no public gatherings, there will be no rallies, only door-to-door campaigns will be taking place. But during the launching, the event took place in Boya at the Mountain Hotel, in Bamenda at the Congress Hall, and some militants of your party, including the mayor of Boya, Ikema Patrick Esunge, seem to be uncomfortable with the fact that it took place in a close-up area, not in public.
You know, the CPDM is a democratic party where everybody has a right to his opinion. So nobody can deter somebody from expressing what he feels about the party and how things are being managed by the party. So if somebody gets worried and expresses a different opinion to what others think, it's just but normal. We're in a democracy. So we have to accept it.
And the Meme 1A section president, Tabo Lawson, said the campaign would have been organized in public in order to suppress the idea that the pro-independence fighters are gaining grounds.
You understand that, as I say, we're in a democracy. Those who feel they can do which is for the good of the party, and they can operate the way they think they can operate, I don't see any party member opposing the idea. All they ought to do is put the idea progress in a good and proper manner before everybody and go ahead with it. If they think, because they too are supporters of our champion, whatever they can do to make our champion look good wherever is always welcome.
And you think the door-to-door campaign is going to yield fruits?
You know, it has worked for donkey years. It has worked for us ever since we've been doing campaign and electioneering. It has worked. Something that has worked, why should we stop it? At least, the CPDM has held rallies, launched their party in the northwest and southwest region. I'm challenging the others to do the same.
Here in the economic day, we have the posters of the President of the Republic everywhere, just everywhere, on the walls of schools, on the private buildings, just everywhere.
First and foremost, if you think it is wrong, you should know what to do, right? The mere fact that nobody is doing anything means it is right. And secondly, you cannot deter somebody from putting the effigy of the
Franklin Diffon pulled at the Seacam Stadium and the others that we have been seeing. You are not threatened?
You've seen people pulling down crowds so many. Is that the first time? But where are they today? Crowd is not a yardstick to show who's going to win our elections. It is the confidence in the candidate which is the most important, I believe.
Your last word before we go?
I just say I came to portray my candidate to the public that he's the best of all the others. He has a program which will be elaborated in the coming days. He has a program which you'll be noticing even by the time from the past. You'll notice that he's the only guy who can be the person to sort out the issues that we have today.
With the force of experience.
Yes. Actually, the power of experience.
The power of experience. Yes. Thank you, Barrister Julius ACHU, for coming. He is a fervent and frontline militant of the ruling Cameroon People's Democratic Movement, CPDM political party. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for staying with us. That's it for today.